Ladies and gentlemen, this is a segment that we do here every week on the podcast. If you follow me on Instagram already, thank you. You're a beautiful person. If not, check me out, aka Black Zeus, on Instagram every Monday. But it's more important that you subscribe here. This is the place. Fuck a IG, fuck a TikTok, fuck a Twitter. This is where you get to see us authentically, and we get to present ourselves in the best comedic light. We talk about comedy and nerd shit and fight stuff, but mostly comedy. And we got more coming down the pipeline. That sounded gay as fuck. Coming down the pipeline. Every Monday on my Instagram story feed and on the community tab on YouTube, we post an interactive poll question. We leave it up for you guys to vote, and then we discuss the results right here on the podcast every week. And this week's poll question was, do comedy specials still feel special to you? The options were for sure, hell nah, some, but it's too saturated, and never liked them. And before we get to the results, Dante, how'd you vote on this one?
Some, but it's too saturated.
Yeah, same. I feel the exact same way. It takes a very special, like this is what to me social media has destroyed.
The special?
Absolutely. The social media has completely taken away the special aspect of the special. People have too much access to the shit now. And every comedian now has it ingrained in their fucking head that they have to be on social media 24/7 and release all their goddamn material, release all their crowd work shit, release all the fucking this and that. We're in people's faces so fucking much that by the time you say, hey, I got an hour comedy special, nigga, you've already given me 8 hours of mid sketches and comedy clips this past fucking year. What makes your special feel so special anymore? It really takes, like, for me, Holtzman, I was excited.
Yeah, like you saw my text, all caps.
Yeah, all caps.
Holtzman dropped.
That's why I also thought you'd be fucking watching it. Holtzman dropped. He got the bell in the fucking street. Holtzman dropped here. Yeah, like he still has an aura about him that's comedic. I feel like those guys, it still feels special. Joe Rogan just dropped a special. Nothing about that felt special to me because the nigga's so oversaturated in the market. Everything is Joe Rogan nowadays.
Yeah, but you actually don't see much of his
stand-up
anywhere.
Yeah, he isolates that.
Yeah, so he isolates that. And his last special was like 6 years ago.
Correct.
So, because I watched it
Did it feel special to you?
I would say it felt special because it was a live thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Right? So he was able to separate his from most of the other specials because his was still a live event. I didn't watch it live, but it was a live event. So it still adds that level of like, this is unique to the other specials, regardless of the actual
I can see that
of it.
I still generally feel like there is not a modern comedy special that I could say I've gone back and watched like the specials that I watched when I was growing up.
Well, you watch Holtzman like 3 times.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I feel like also us having met him, done the interview with him, having hung out with him a bit, and then friends of Holtzman, and then him giving us the VIP experience.
Yeah, that adds to it.
That added so much for me personally. That added so much to it.
But he's hilarious.
Because I'll be perfectly honest with you, this one didn't feel as great to me overall. But I can't wait for you to see it so we can discuss it. Yeah. It's mainly because he kind of dips the energy. But that's also kind of why I respect him so much more for it. Because he's being super authentic about what's happening in the room.
Yes. I can kind of guess because I remember, because we saw him.
He goes quiet.
Yeah, but we saw him like twice.
Yeah.
We saw him at the Vulcan.
Yeah.
So there's a section where
That was a 10-minute set. So
yeah,
that was tougher to...
No, but there's a section where he brings the volume down. I don't know if you remember. But he talks about like...
Yeah, but it didn't feel the same.
Okay.
This almost felt like it got to him.
What got to him?
Like I can't obviously interpret what he was feeling, but it felt like it was getting to him.
What?
The non-reactions. It got quiet for a bit.
Oh, like people weren't laughing.
People weren't laughing, and then it was like pockets of people. But I'm sure he's used to this.
Yes.
But it just seems like the way he dealt with it felt very introspective, and like he was not crisis mode.
Yeah.
But like he was really contemplating what the fuck.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait for you to see it.
I gotta watch it.
I can't wait for you to see it. Because to me, it was still, bro. And there's one part that, and he's not even saying words. It's the classic, like, it's the classic Holtzman. He does that so much throughout this. Or crowd work. Like, it's the part where he talks about doing crowd work.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man. It had me just in tears. In tears. Oh, I just do crowd work.
And going back to like, do these specials still feel special? Right? Because you'll see like, and I'm not throwing shade, but like Ali Siddiq has like a 6-part special.
That's insane. I didn't know this.
Yeah, like
Siddiq dropped a 6-part comedy special. So 6 hours?
Yeah, if you look on his channel, it's like part 1, the domino effect, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5.
I like it as a concept, but if they're all 60 minutes, that's insane.
I didn't watch them.
They might not be.
Because it doesn't feel as special because it's just so much.
True.
Right? So it's like he dropped like 5-6 hours, maybe. I don't know how long they were, but
yeah,
it's just like, dang, like now I gotta watch this one too. Like,
to me, the Joe Rogan effect kind of trumped the live aspect of it. It even though it was live, it wasn't the first one. Like Cat was the first one to do it.
He did live on Netflix?
Cat did live on Netflix, yeah. The last one he did, World War III, or like whatever the fuck it was. That was live on Netflix. That was the first one they did.
Okay.
And that was after the Club Shay Shay, which I fucking called. I'm like, this nigga has something coming out, bro.
Yes.
He did the Shay Shay, didn't mention a comedy special coming out at all.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, all that blew up, and he's like, by the way, I'm doing the first ever live Netflix comedy special.
Okay.
No, Chris Rock did the first live one. Chris Rock did the first live one.
Which one was
Cat
that?
Williams was the second one. He did it like less than a year ago. I never watched it.
Oh, when after the slap.
It was after the slap.
Yeah.
And he went live on Netflix. That was the first time they did it. Because Netflix is about to go crazy on the live stuff.
Yeah,
you're
excited for that wrestling.
They just signed WWE. I'm excited because they're off television, which means they could get. Not that I want them to go Attitude Era again. Like I don't need that fucking level of sex, drugs, rock and roll, cocaine in my face 24/7. But I want to hear them swearing. I want to hear them being adults.
Yes,
I just want to hear adult like situations and themes. Like they're already starting to creep into that because Netflix is right around the corner for them.
Yes,
so the storylines are getting more mature. They're just treating people with respect. That's what I'm stoked on wrestling right now. They're fucking crushing it. I acknowledge. Anyways, we're talking about comedy right now. Why would you mention wrestling? The W word.
Because
don't
Netflix.
do that to me. It's still real to me, damn it. Yeah, the Rogan. What did you think of the Rogan special? You watched it?
I watched it. So
very in line with Rogan.
Yeah.
Like his character, his. I was expecting alien jokes.
Yeah.
I just Rogan's never really been a comedy guy for me. He's never been someone who I've sat and watched and been like, yo, this is killer material to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what blows my mind is like, you know, because I still see his contributions to the comedy game. But when he said that on the Cat Williams interview, like when JRE had Cat Williams on, and they're like, "There's only 500 real comics."
Yeah,
I'm like, bruh, like if we're talking about 500 elite level comics, then I don't like.
I think
I'm not in a position to be like Joe Rogan's not
No.
in the 500, but I mean, like if you saw the comments all on the internet, you would think
On
the
the
internet
special?
on the special all over the internet. Most people do not find Joe Rogan funny comedically. They go to him for JRE now.
Yeah,
They go to him for conversations and conspiracy talk.
for sure.
So it's like, I don't know if I would ever be bold enough to make a comment like there's only 500. Like I've said it on this podcast jokingly.
No, but I can see where he's coming from because Joe Rogan, at least what I feel like in his mind,
Yeah.
he's passed at the Comedy Store. You know what I mean? Like he's
in the upper echelon.
He's in the upper echelon. And then he's still, you might not see that it's a high level, but he still goes out every night. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's at his club pretty regularly.
He's at his club pretty regularly. He's touring. How many?
No, he's not touring anymore, really.
Well,
now he's got the mothership.
no, but before, like, just like last year, he was on the road with Chappelle 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right? So, like, how many?
But even that was like such a special novelty thing.
But
Like he's not touring on his own.
no, but
I'll be in Nebraska next. Like he's not doing that shit. No way.
he doesn't have to. But to my point, this is my point.
Yeah.
There aren't that many comedians that are even at that level to be doing that. That's why I.
So okay, so if they're talking from that standpoint, then yeah, there's only 5. Like 500 might be a
high.
reach. It might be a reach.
Exactly.
If we're talking about comedians making real money out here.
Real money off of comedy.
I just feel like back in the day, most of those guys were actually elite comedians on stage. Nowadays, it's more like what you do off the stage that gets you the notoriety.
Yes.
And then your stage isn't as sharp as what you're known for.
Yes. But this is a conversation we're having before we even started recording.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to be known for your comedy or for something else?
And that's my biggest dilemma right now is
right. Exactly.
Okay, we could be popping more if we started doing sketches and all this shit, but it goes against everything in my nature as a comedian. I'm not in this to be a fucking YouTube sketch sensation. I obviously want our YouTube channel to be fucking prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
and then you also don't.
And I want it to be through comedy.
Yeah, but then there's also okay, you could do it through comedy, but do you want to be known as the crowd work guy? Not really.
Well, why is that just comedy? Why is crowd work the only? Is that just an example you're giving?
Yeah, that's an example. Like some people are the crowd work guy.
I guess, yeah.
Because they post their crowd work.
But
clips.
that is a style of comedy. Some people out here are just doing crowd work.
I know, but that's not the way I see it. That's a newer form of to only do crowd work stuff. Because before you have to write jokes.
When I started, there was already established comedians doing it. And that was 13 years ago.
But they are still writing jokes.
No.
They're only doing crowd work.
Yeah, straight up. Jeff Leeson,
okay,
I think is his name. It's Jeff something. He's a Canadian comic.
Yeah.
Dude's been touring since I started.
Mm-hmm.
And only does crowd work.
Well, good on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But some people, they only do crowd work and then they try and tell jokes. It doesn't hit the same.
Well, the thing is, you can't fucking start with crowd work. You know what I mean? Like, you can't start there. I mean, you possibly, okay, sure, you could technically start with crowd work.
I'm not saying this, but
I wouldn't.
What you get known for, right? So if that's what you get known for, but you still wanted to tell regular jokes, but then everyone's like, "Oh, talk to me."
Yeah. Like you go to a Jeff Ross show and you're waiting for the roast.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're not there to see him
tell his jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. And that's not to say Joe Rogan isn't funny or anything. I just like it's just crazy to me. Like that statement was just so wild, but given that context, I could see them talking about it in that way. There's only so many elite, or like there's only so many people in the upper echelon of whatever comedy is.
Mm-hmm.
I think growing up, before comedy was so mainstream,
to get to that level, you would have had to been really
you would have had to been elite on stage.
Exactly,
and that's what's disheartening to me about this social media thing. It's because I work my ass off to actually be. And I like, yo, I'm just speaking for myself, but like to be, I won't even word it like elite or anything, but to be as funny as I am consistently, and then to see so much mediocrity all around me, and then to see so much mediocrity just in general that's got some sort of a platform, it's bonkers. But it makes sense when you really stop and think about it, bro, because most people are just lowest common denominator.
Yeah,
they're not necessarily fans of comedy, but they like to laugh. And this person made me laugh on fucking TikTok. So they're the funniest comedian on earth right now. And that's what social media is just. If we're talking about devaluing, that's like comics are devaluing themselves by having to compete with other comics on algorithms, and comics are destroying themselves mentally by thinking that they had like this algorithm thing, like we were talking about before we started recording. It's like I don't give a fuck about the social media shit. I just want to do comedy. And obviously nowadays, to actually do comedy, you have to have a like social media presence and awareness.
Yeah.
But it's like in my mind, where that means nothing, where the fuck, and I'm still having this balance, this argument in my mind. Some days I'm with it, and then other days I'm like, bro, fuck no. Yes. Going to the States made me realize that you can still be a fuck no person about this. You just have to be where the action is.
Yes.
I wouldn't be like, it's because now I'm removed from the States again that I'm thinking about this shit. I'm like, fuck. In the States, we just had comedy to do.
Yeah.
We were just doing comedy. We were driving around, fucking, there's shows everywhere, audiences
Shows
everywhere.
Yes.
But in Canada, you, like, what's fucked up to me, what's disheartening to me, is having a comedy career in Canada now and to make money at it essentially means you have to figure out what you can do on a social media platform that will get you seen by a corporate sponsor that will hire you to make a sketch video on Instagram or TikTok. Like, so many of the Toronto comedians have gone this route. So many, it's just like, okay, let me fucking make memes and let the meme blow up. And now all of a sudden I'm doing fucking ad reads for so-and-so for this product placement bullshit. It's like, it's forcing people to change the definition of what being a comedian is. You know, like, it's added so many extra layers that have nothing to do with comedy. And those layers, I'm not saying they weren't there before. Like, obviously, before social media, you still had media. You still had the TV and movie industry that was scooping up comics. Like, at one point, the whole name of the game was to become a comedian so you can get a TV show. Like Seinfeld days and all that shit.
Yeah.
Get a sitcom. And that was the pinnacle. That was pretty much TikTok, Instagram famous back then.
Yeah. Or get on the late night shows.
Correct. But those guys were still vetted on the stage.
Yeah.
There's just so much devaluing of good comedy now that just mid is getting through. And the people that care about the craft so much, they care about it so much that they don't care about this extra shit. And they suffer for it in the back end because they don't care about this extra shit. But now the extra shit has overtaken the main thing.
Yeah.
People are more focused now on, or maybe they always have been. There's always been people that are focused on fame. But in comedy that didn't really, nobody came through comedy to be famous in the beginning, like in the early days of comedy. Like Seinfeld was an anomaly when he fucking got that big.
Yeah.
Like the sitcom thing was still a thing, Tim Allen and all this shit. But it was like blowing up to the number one thing. Seinfeld was the number one show and comedy was still not recognized as the number one, like, you know, it was still music and all this other shit. Now comedy is so big that so many people think, oh, I'll fucking get in the industry through this.
Yeah.
It's and to them, what comedy is online memes and sketches and fucking street videos and nothing to do with comedy.
Nothing to do with being on stage.
On stage, like traditional, proper, get in a room full of strangers and make them laugh until they piss their pants. So this week's poll question, once again, to recap, do comedy specials still feel special to you? The options were for sure, hell nah, same, but it's too saturated. Never liked them. Myself and Dante both voted some, but it's too saturated. And the people voted. 12% said for sure, 8% said hell nah, 79% said some, but it's too saturated. 0% said never liked them. Long live comedy. 79% is wild. But at least most people see it.
Yeah.
Comedy specials just they lost that allure. When you have 80 specials releasing a day, and then fucking 8 billion comedy clips and videos and sketches releasing every minute.
Yeah.
Throughout all forms of media and platforms like Netflix and all this shit, it's like, how can you get excited unless it's your personal favorite guy?
Yeah.
To me, the only people that will ever get me excited for comedy are straight up legit comics. I don't give a fuck about these Matt Rife guys and all these fucking, oh, I'm a crowd work guy and I blew up off TikTok. Shut up. Show me what the fuck you can do on stage. If it's not good, it's not good. And I don't care what your platform tells you. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's this week's poll question. Make sure you get active and vote on all the poll questions, aka Black Zeus on Instagram and the community tab right here on YouTube. I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Once again, the Patreon is launched. If you do want to watch my comedy special right now, you can do so. It's only $10 and you can get it as part of the subscription fee. So like if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get it that way, or you can just buy it outright for $10 that way. Once again, for transparency, I will release the comedy special for free on the YouTube once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can also just hit the subscriber button and just do that. You can support that way, whichever way you want to support. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I don't necessarily use it the way everybody else does, but I'm there if you want to find me. AKA Black Zeus is the person to find on those platforms.